Hi everybody, this is Carrick with Angry Centaur Gaming. So today I'm going to walk you through just some of the customization ability within Assassin's Creed Unity. For the content that comes out today, we can't do any single player narrative. We can't do. There's a bunch of stuff we can't do, and overall, it's just it's sort of locked in for the Tuesday release of information. But one thing that isn't is, looking at some behind the scenes stuff. And there are three currencies within the game. There's the ability, just like in Black Flag, to go ahead and buy things early. So you could call that a mini transaction. But then there's sort of like Assassin's Creed points, skill points, and money. And they are a little bit different. One you get for sort of going farther in the game. The other you get for performing actions in the game. And then one you get for just money, for stealing things. And they buy different things. And at first, it could be cumbersome, but it doesn't seem to be. So here's like ranged, shows different skills that you can get. And you do start out with less skills than you start out with in the other Assassin's Creed games, but that's explained. So, and I can't go into that. But overall, fairly quickly, almost instantly, you have almost the same stuff as you did, and you sort of start where you would expect. They've got things like the bombs, stun grenades, all the kind of stuff that an assassin always needs. And of course, a quiet assassin using a pistol in the middle of a street, as that picture just showed. So here I am. I'm just buying some stun grenades. I'm buying the ability to carry the pistol around. And really, all it's doing is replacing getting it automatically. And in a way, that's cool because you can get some stuff a little bit earlier than you would in past games if you go ahead and say, hey, screw it, I don't need this thing that normally would be given to me right away because I want something that's a little bit more powerful. Some really cool stuff like disguise, the ability to temporarily disguise yourself and nearby allies. That's awesome. That is like, I love it. So they show little videos, tutorials. Really like the idea. Lockpick, of course, the lockpick game shows a little brief thing there, and there's one right there that's that we had before, which is environmental blending. But you can already blend when you walk around, so that's just the sitting down kind of blending. So it's not a loss not having it. Then just different weapon strikes, different types of weapon strikes, basically. Most of them being the powerful ones, power strikes. So you can get a weapon, you can do a light strike, but you can't do a power strike until you decide you want to sort of specialize by purchasing that skill. And then you've got stealth stuff. You've got like double air assassinations. The typical stuff that you were taught in the other game. It's just here you sort of can control when and where you get it. And some people I could see, looking at that and being all, hey, I don't really like the idea of having to get it, but it's the same way as performing having somebody take you on a tutorial and doing it versus here where you get to choose, you personally get to choose when and where you get that skill.
Seems he was a busy guy. See that symbol? That's a co-op mission.
Now, one thing I can't show is co-op missions. There are co-op missions throughout the game. They're a character that stands there. Another thing I really like about it is you have your own base of operations. When you go in there, there's your players from your friends list who are right there and can join. You can also create your own club or a clan, I guess. And it was very simple. I created mine within just a small amount of time. So here's the different weapons. And I think this is something that's been, long missing in these games, especially in the amount of stuff that you can get. You could get it in different ways in other games, but a lot of times you couldn't hold on to them if they were a temporary weapon or so forth. It gives you the ability to not only upgrade and stuff like that, but it gives you the ability to just get a boatload of different weapons. And what it does is it evens the playing field by doing something a little unique. You can buy the weapon, right? Everybody can get whatever weapon they want through cash. But if you want a lower classed weapon to do more damage, you do have to hack it, which is technically a microtransaction. Now, people can complain or not complain about that, but the fact is it wouldn't have been there at all in most other games. So, I mean, some games are doing that, some games aren't, but it doesn't really bother me. All it does is add 25% increase to damage. Well, I guess that can be a lot for some people, but overall, there's so many weapons. No one is going to not be able to do what they want to do by never using that hack ability. There's just a boatload of weapons. Here we've got like the pickaxe, which is incredible. You've got, and I'm sure I'm going to mispronounce a couple of these, but here's the hack credits when you click the thing to go into it. But there's like the long axe. There's so many really cool weapons. There's just a boatload of them, and some are cosmetic, especially if they share the same horizontal line. But I really liked it. They all do special kill moves as well, which are different for every weapon. So that means, if I have a pick, it's going to do a different kill move than an axe style weapon. And that's really awesome. And there is, as you can see, there's actually a boatload. I'm just going through here and looking. I personally like the axe. And then you got the Morning Star, of course. It's always good for some crush damage. You even have somewhat of a, I guess you would call it you could probably call it a samurai sword. So I'm just going to buy this. I love that. It's got the old, armor breaker on the back. And then you got different pistols. You've got 9, 10. And you've got one hidden, which I'm assuming is DLC, possibly. And then you've got almost all of the weapons, armor, and so forth have legendary, basically legendary items. And they say legendary right in them. And those legendaries are usually, from what I can tell, you receive them if you do special things within the game. If you unlock a certain amount of things, blah, blah, blah. So now look in here. I always have a problem when I'm trying to pick swords because oh, that looks cool. The blade matters for sure, but the guard and the hilt, I love that kind of stuff for some reason. So, there's a lot of stuff here, and I can't give impressions for, what I think of the game or anything like that, but I can say that there's a lot. And I think that people who, wanted to outfit their character without necessarily doing 100,000 collectible quests are probably going to be very, very happy. I'm going to buy this foil. I love that guard. That is a sweet little clamshell guard there. And rifles. Yeah, so you've got 9, 10 rifles. Again, all looking different, all doing different things. Really, all in all, they have... I just got to make sure this is equipped here. It might be a difference between buying and equipping. Okay. And then you also have... Once I jump out of here, I'm going to go to... equipment. You have different color schemes, and you have a good amount of them. Now, the color schemes are purchased not with the hackable credits, so you don't have to worry about that, but with actual in-game stuff. And there's a ton. Some are a little generic green, gray, as you see, and then some get a little fancier. Plus, of course, this has nothing to do with the amount of different items of armor you have. Here we go. Look at that. There's just a metric shit ton of customizations you can do. And of course, then you can go in and change the color. And you have ones that are, almost all of them are unlockable via money within the game. And then you have some that are unlockable via special quests. You even have that with the little mask over the face. There is just a boatload of stuff. I mean, a plethora, as they say. I'm really impressed with the amount of stuff there. So, handmade prowler, Arno's original hood. They all give you a little bit of a change to your armor. Here's a boatload of different armors. There's one that looks like Mass Effect a little bit, but all kinds of armor. Look at that. That means, if you want to outfit yourself, especially if you're going to do co-op, where you're going to end up being with different people. And as you can see, I have a bunch unlocked automatically, which is always cool. And then you have forearms. Anyway, you have a bunch of different people who are going to be playing co-op. You want to look different. I can tell you the honest truth, I just don't see the chance of two assassins getting in a co-op mission looking almost remotely the same if they played the game enough to actually want to go into the actual co-op. So there is just a good amount. And as you can see, some of these change your melee and your stealth, your health, your range, depending on what they do. And just overall, what they look like is fairly cool. There's just so many. Here's the waist. So many different things. They also have additional modifiers, as you can see, additional medicine, cherry bombs, ammunition. They upgrade it, So just getting a couple of these can really change the overall effect of the game and how you play it, because they do offer so many pluses. Here's the different legs, breeches, all kinds. Look at that. There is a ton of them. And so you can make, like you see there, pirate legs. You can make your pirate. You can make your typical assassin. You can even go a little bit Native American, I've seen. And there's one, looks like one major outfit is locked and invisible, and that's most likely, I would assume, because of the way that they have some collectible missions. And then you have boosts. They're active skills that you can unlock. Both of these, basically, the boosts, from what I can tell, are you can get them and then you do them within the game. But I think these might just be microtransactions, and they're very small. So I'm having a difficult time figuring out. This I'm early in the game now, so I'm not quite sure. If you unlock them later or what, but I really like the idea. You play the game normal. It's not harder if you play it normal. But if somebody, hey, if somebody wants to, if they're having a problem with a mission, we all know that Assassin's Creed 2, 3, they all have problems where there's a particular mission that's very difficult. And I like the idea of being able to, if somebody wants to, go in there and give themselves 3 minutes of a buff. And it helps some of those people. Most people probably won't even need it, but you get on that mission where you just can't seem to get through because you keep getting caught, you keep getting noticed. Well, I'm going to make sure all these equipped, by the way. Then those are good skills to have. So, and I'm going to make sure my equipment is also. I always, especially coming to grips with these kind of. Over with that kind of customization always takes me a little bit. So here's the contacts profile where you can see what you've done. As you can tell, I'm brand new. You can go ahead and you can create a club, and it's super easy. I'm not quite sure I can say the name of my club or anything either, so I'm probably gonna pop in and out for a second to. I want to check something in my club to check to see if the people I asked to join have joined me. And here's a bit of a free roaming bit. Now, I'm not allowed to give impressions, so what I'm just going to do is state some facts. There is a shit ton of NPCs in the levels. A metric shit ton. It really does change the overall feel of the game. And, just looking around, you do see some copies. You do see some, characters doing particularly odd things or something like that, and then some that look particularly lifelike. You got this guy here on the ground getting beat up. Looks like a book burning of some kind, or just typical revolt. I don't know. I've never been in a revolt. Here, let me toss I had a little quest there. And the cool thing is there are street quests, and these track the little things you do on the street, like scaring some bullies or taking out some people, which I really liked. But you can see here, there's a lot of characters. So now I unlocked Ledge Assassin, and so what you can do is you can go in and you can look at your database and you can see the tutorials for the training itself, and there's a lot of new stuff, there's a lot of old stuff mixed in. It really does feel like there's a lot more. I could be wrong on that, but it does feel like there's a lot of stuff going on. You got your ranged, your bomb throwing, roll recovery, fast slide down the sides of roofs, and things that are falling apart. If you happen to be in a building that falls down, like Gears of War or something crazy. Ledge assassinations, which we're used to, crowd blending, which we're used to, environmental blending, which are separated in this one. And the game, these Assassin's Creed games, they're based on what the player themselves see and feel and find enjoyable. So sometimes when you're watching a chess game and two people are playing and you're not, you see a move. That's sort of the way Assassin's Creed games are. When you play them, many times you won't see things on the side that are going on. They're just a part of the ambiance, or they're a bug or whatever, and you don't see them, but people watching do. And I feel that that's always impacted these games, and it'll probably impact this game as well. Not giving any impressions, but any time that you have the ability to watch somebody else play, you're going to see things they don't, and it's going to be good and bad, depending on what you see. So, and then here's just a little look at the mini-map. The mini-map does have a good number of icons on it, and you can luckily filter those, which is needed when it gets really, really busy, and there are just an incredible and insane amount of things to do. It's all fairly in your face, easy to notice. I do notice that the HUD for the map in particular has, the boxes are a little closer. They're not at the edges of the screen, which is a little odd. It takes you a second because it sort of can feel even more cluttered than just noticing the icons. But I think, that's just going to be up to the individual desires, likes, and pet peeves of the game players. This also, of course, as always, tracks all the different collectibles, and then you have your track of the sync that you have with the Assassin's Creed story. And you can just tell from that little brief picture that there's a bunch there. So, and you've completed 2 of 5 crowd events. There you go. So the crowd events earn you rewards. They can be all different things. Very easy to do. Usually, they involve the stuff that in other games you've just done maybe organically, which are enjoyable to say the least. We're gonna run through these guys here. Now we're coming up to a chest here. Let's interact with that. No, come on, character. Go around. There we go. All right, play Nomad missions in the Assassin's Creed Unity Companion. Okay, so the Companion, for people who don't know, is an Android and Apple app that goes on your tablet or your phone and you can play. And I don't have a compatible phone or tablet for that, so I won't be able to see those things. However, from what I've been able to tell, that will not impact me very much. Those are just more fun things for people to do if they want to. So that's about it for this video. I just wanted to cover the customization and a tiny bit, without covering impressions, but just a tiny bit of what the game looks like and what you'll be seeing. Real quick here, I'll show you some traversal. Traversal is very fast. Both traversal up and down is crazy. You see the little side spin there. Obviously, it's, let's be honest, that's modern parkour, which to me actually bothers me a little bit. It's like, I don't necessarily need to see that. Here's the quick traversal down. Very quick. And you can seem to jump farther and fall farther without dying, which I have to admit is awesome. May not be realistic, but I did notice that. What's that guy? Am I going to tackle him? No. So that's it for the video. I just wanted to show you guys the customization and let you guys sort of see the overall looks of it and how much is there, as well as, the aforementioned, if there's some kind of microtransactions and how it would affect you as a gamer. So if you like the video, hit like. If you disliked it, hit dislike. And check out my review on Tuesday. Peace out. I'm climbing.